Faded, the sports podcast that you didn't know you needed. Our views and opinions may be a little unconventional. The host may be a little high and maybe a little tipsy. The following opinions and views have nothing to do with the 989 Network or its affiliates. Other than that, sit back, grab a drink, roll up a fatty, and enjoy the show.
Welcome back to the Smokehouse, Bay City, Michigan. It's your boy Papa Smurf, Bani with the Fanny from Crossfaded Sports on the 989 Network. We got a special bonus episode for you today. Connor and Zach are feeling a little bit under the weather, and we've had some huge technological difficulties these past 2 weeks. We got some new XLR cords, also had some problems with those. So here we are. You got your boy Bani here for a solo dolo episode. I appreciate you all for dealing with me here. And I want to get talking about all the coaching changes that have already happened here in the NFL this year. Obviously, we've got Matt Eberflus and the Bears, who have had 13 assistant coaches be fired or resigned in the last 2 years. Shane Waldron is the 8th in the last 15 months to be fired or resign. And now they've turned over their play calling duties to passing game coordinator Thomas Brown. Only 8 members of Eberflus's original staff remains, and that's crazy. And everyone talked about how the Bears were going to have this stellar, amazing team and maybe one of the best teams for a first overall draft pick to ever be a part of. And obviously it just isn't coming together they wanted to. And the reality is they're not out of the playoffs yet. They are not the most dysfunctional team in the NFL, despite all the dysfunction. It's crazy that they are still competing, especially with the NFC North and how strong the NFC North is. We could definitely see the Lions and the Packers for sure make the playoffs with the Vikings as well. And we might be the strongest division in all of the NFL. So it's not like they weren't climbing an uphill battle. However, you can see the dysfunction in the organization, and then just the leadership from top to bottom isn't organized, isn't ready to commit to everything that they wanted to commit to. And it's a common theme with these young quarterbacks and these new coaches and new general managers. Obviously, we've got the Daniel Jones issue over with the Giants as well. And they benched Daniel Jones because he had a $25 million player insurance policy with the deal he signed. They decided to sign him over Saquon. We see how that's working out. Oh my gosh, the hard knocks. The owner saying pretty much that he would cry if they let Saquon Barkley go to another team, especially the Eagles. And then they let him go. They re-signed Daniel Jones the year prior. And now he's been released. Publicly, they have stated that he's going to be released. He's going to have to clear waivers because of his salary cap and everything like that. He will clear waivers and will end up being a free agent because they don't want to take on that $23 million insurance policy that if he ends up getting hurt at practice or anywhere else. So it's just crazy to see all this turnover with the coaches. You've got the Cowboys right now. They are an absolute dumpster fire. They're probably not going to fire anybody until the end of the season, but Jerry Jones has no idea what he's doing. Then you have the Jets firing Robert Saleh. They just fired their GM as well. Woody Johnson is getting ready to end up being a dignitary again for the Trump administration because him and Melania Trump's wives Trump's wife Melania are great friends. So he's trying to get everything sorted before he goes back to wherever he's going to go. It's just crazy to see this. And to get further into the coaches, we've got Ben Johnson rumors all over the place because of what he's doing with the Detroit Lions. And the big thing is him possibly taking over from Matt Eberflus for the Bears. And please, Ben, don't do that. We don't want you to do that. We don't need that. We don't need you in the division. And so now the next part goes to Miss Sheila Ford Hamp. There is no salary cap on our coaches. Go and just pay Ben and Aaron, whatever they want. Keep them on staff, keep them with Dan, let them continue to be absolutely amazing at what they're doing. We need this. We need them to stay with the organization. Right now, I can't imagine, besides maybe the Bears job, which is why that noise is so loud. For the record, the Bears do have the 5th most cap space next year at $82 million. So that might be the best job available. I just don't want to see him do that. I don't want to see him do that. Just pay him whatever he wants. Hell, pay him more than Dan Campbell. I think Dan would be okay with it. MCDC would be like, whatever you got to do to keep Ben as our offensive coordinator. I think he's about that life. I think the team would be about it. We just need to keep both Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson. And I'm going through all this because I'm looking out for all you fans out there, all your Giants fans, all you Jets fans, all you Cowboys fans. As a Lions fan, you see the blue beard, you see the blue hair. It's been a long time. It's been a lot of dysfunction. We had to sit through the Joey Harrington, Matt Millen era. We had literally forced 2 of the greatest players to ever play the game, arguably the 2 greatest players at their position, to retire early. Calvin and Barry both retired early because they couldn't deal with the dysfunction anymore. They couldn't deal with losing. Great, amazing athletes like that cannot handle losing repetitively when you are literally a generational talent. So I do take pity on you guys. Not so much the Cowboys fans, because you guys at least have had multiple winning seasons. You guys just can't win in the playoffs. But the Giants and the Jets, ever since Eli left, the Jets have just, my whole life have been dysfunction, except for when you guys had Rex Ryan there and Darrelle Revis and Revis Island. But even then, you didn't have an offense, and no one really thought you could compete. The fact that you made it to back-to-back AFC championship games was because the AFC North division is the AFC East. The AFC East division is absolutely garbage. So that's the only reason they were able to maintain any sort of success with that defense, with that offense being terrible. So I just want to say, as a Lions fan, I do take pity in you guys. Seeing so much dysfunction with your organization from top to bottom is hard to take. It's hard to sit through. It's hard to be a fan and wake up every Sunday, knowing that your team is going to probably get their asses handed to you, and you're over here trying to play fantasy football, maybe do a little bit of gambling, and when your team sucks and then your fantasy football team sucks, your Sunday sucks, and it's not fun for anybody. No one likes that. Everyone wants to win. Everyone wants to feel like their team has a purpose and a meaning, and I just sympathize with you guys so much. This is the first time in my life where we're the number 1 rated odds for the Super Bowl right now. That's crazy. I've never seen that. Never seen that in my life. I'm so excited for the Lions because of that. So I just wanted to throw that shout out to all you guys out there, feeling it with your teams, feeling the dysfunction, feeling the coaching changes. And as somebody whose team is winning, I am worried about all those coaching changes too, because I don't want to lose Ben Johnson. I don't want to lose Aaron Glenn. And I have criticized Aaron Glenn, but man, this year with all the injuries on defense, he has been doing a stellar job. So I don't want to see either of those guys go. And yeah, well, thank you all for tuning into my little Bani rant here and little PSA announcement. Make sure you look out for the nice blue beard here over at the Thanksgiving Day game. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe on all of your podcast platforms. Just Google us, Crossfaded Sports, and you'll be able to get whatever you need. And as every time we say, everybody love everybody. EOE.
We like sports and we don't care who knows. From shooting hoops to the Super Bowl. We like sports and we don't care who knows. Football.